Welcome to our chair yoga class. Great to have you all here. Hopefully you got well, you obviously got our emails because that's how you're here. Um, this is part of our Grow with GoGo series. Before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services. So anything you need done in or around your house, all by calling one number. That phone number is 855-464-6872. We also have a referral program, so if you go to the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there is a code. If you give that code to a friend, they can input it, and once they've taken their first service with GoGo, you will both get $30 in credit. So just a really nice win-win if you know someone who would benefit. We have a Facebook group, so if you want to check in on our Facebook group, see how other people are using GoGo or connect with other members, you can find us on Facebook. We'll share a link to the chat. And with that, we'll get going. So if we haven't met, I'm Aedra. I'm in San Francisco, California. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo. What do we need today? So for chair yoga, all you need is a chair in your body. Something sturdy, something that's not going to fall out from underneath you. I say that because it has happened. It has happened. So make sure it's a sturdy chair. This class is primarily seated. We do stand for about 5 minutes. If you don't want to stand and want to skip that part, totally fine. Skip it and just hang out because it'll only be a few minutes. Let's see. I think, oh, we're Wednesday. Does anybody remember the move of the week? So not the functional fitness move, the yoga move. So not from last week, but from the week before, the Wednesday week before. You see me glancing over there because I have it written down. If you're new, you'll know what I'm talking about. Well, we do a move of the week, something for you to practice. And try and remember also. So a little memory game. No one? You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat. Uh-oh. Karen, were you going to say something? No. Something seated, but that's unsurprising. No? Oh my gosh. Okay, rocking hips side to side. So sitting in that chair and rocking the hips side to side, we focused a lot on the pelvis and kind of the position of the pelvis and feeling your sits bones in your chair. Okay, well, we'll see what the move of the week is this time. We might need to do a repeat so that we remember and practice. But we'll let that go for now. I'll stop sharing my screen. So here, in a moment, I should pop up nice and big for you. Let's give it a second. Here we go. If for some reason just now I didn't come up nice and big, you can adjust your settings. So we can't override your settings. And the way you would do that is move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen. A box will pop up that says View. You can pick Speaker View, and then you'll see me nice and big. If you pick Gallery View, you'll see everyone else, which can be really nice, but then it's hard to know what we're doing or what the movements are. All right, with that, let's go ahead and find our seat. Let me just adjust this a tiny bit. All right, well, we might as well just start with that move of the week that we didn't remember. So just a little rocking side to side. So we're feeling that pelvis. We're getting a sense of the shape of our pelvis. So there are these hard bones that you probably can feel past your glute tissue. So if you need to, you could even sit on your hands for a moment if you're not feeling it. And there should be some hard bones. Well, there not should be, there will be. There will be hard bones. I've never met anyone who doesn't have a pelvis. So there's some hard bones there. And so if you have your hands and you're sitting on them, and you rock side to side, you're going to feel this hard bone. So that's what we're doing here. You're feeling, okay, when I rock to the right or to the left, can I feel the bones? And then do a little shifting forward and back. So you can let your pelvis move here and your torso. There's really no right or wrong. We're just sensing these bones. You're feeling these hard bones in our bum. And then come to center, find stillness for a moment and pause and see, can you feel those bones? Do you feel as though they are even, right to left, or do you have more weight on one sit bone? The technical term is, or anatomical term is ischial tuberosity, but sits bone, because they're the bones that we sit on, I think is a little bit more helpful. So if those sits bones, can you feel them? And is there weight more on one than the other? That's question number one. Is the weight more forward or back? Or does it feel like you're right in the middle of that bone? So just notice. You don't need to change anything. And then close your eyes. Let your shoulders soften. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can soften your gaze to the ground. And let's tune into your breath. So noticing the natural rhythm of your breath. Noticing if your breath feels rapid or slow, choppy or smooth. And begin to notice where you feel the breath in your body. Maybe you can feel the air entering and exiting the nostrils. Maybe you can feel it in your chest. Maybe you even feel the breath into your back. Or in your abdomen. So notice where you feel the breath or where you feel the effects of the breath, because the breath doesn't actually go into the abdomen, but it displaces our organs. And so we can feel sensation in the abdomen. There is movement there. And then begin to deepen your breath. So finding slightly longer inhales and longer exhales. As you inhale, really feeling your entire torso trying to expand. And then taking one hand on top of the other against your chest, against your heart. See if you can feel the movement of the breath here beneath your palms. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice today.
So maybe there's something you'd like to cultivate or honor. Could be something like flexibility or calm, ease, curiosity, whatever it is. Go ahead and set that for yourself now. Take a deep inhale, fill the lungs. And exhale, let it go. Let the arms relax. Feel free to open the eyes. And we'll begin to move the head right and left. So just gently rotating the head, no. So making sure that it's just a head movement here. So there's no movement of the rest of the spine or the pelvis. So only moving in a range that your neck can actually move. And then looking up and down. So again, same thing, only moving from the neck and not from the rest of the spine. So sometimes we'd be, to try and exaggerate the movement, the whole spine will start to move. Nothing wrong with that, but we're just isolating right now. And then bringing ear to shoulder, side stretch of the neck. Center and other side. So do that a few times. Do the side stretch and then to the other side. Moving as fast or as slow as you'd like. And then coming to center, let's do some shoulder rolls. Forward. A nice big shoulder rolls. And again, we're not moving the spine yet here. It's just those shoulders. So those arms and the shoulder blades are moving. And go the other way. All right, let those shoulders soften. Let's bend the elbows. Flip the palms to face up. It's like you're holding a platter in your hands here. Again, the spine is not moving yet. We're going to inhale, reach those thumbs back. Elbows stay bent 90 degrees. The fingers are now facing to the side. And then exhale, bring those hands forward again. So we inhale, externally rotate. We're feeling that arm bone rolling in that shoulder socket. The shoulder blades can move as well. And then exhale, hands come back towards each other. Keep going at your own pace. So follow your breath. Don't worry about my speed or really anybody else's speed. Move at the pace that feels good, keeping those elbows bent 90 degrees. Keeping those upper arms close to the side of the body. So don't let those elbows start to move away from you as you externally rotate. And the next time the arms are out to the side, pause. Let's hold for an extra breath or so. And then let's find a W shape with the arms. So we'll bend the elbows more. Let's flip those palms to face forward. So palms face forward, elbows are close to the side, thumbs are close to the shoulders. Again, we're not moving the spine yet. We'll get to move it in a minute here. We'll inhale, reach those arms up. So again, you're reaching without moving the spine. And then exhale, bend the elbows, come back to that W shape. I like to use my hands here as well. So as we inhale, you can spread those fingers apart, open up the hands, reaching tall. And then exhale, bend the elbows, and maybe you make a fist. Keep going at your own pace. And again, watching that your spine is not moving here, that you can independently move your shoulders and your arms without your back getting involved, which might require a little bit of core work to stabilize. A few more. All right, and letting that go. Now we get to move our spine. We'll do some cat-cow. So we'll inhale, lift the chest. Now we're going to move that pelvis as well. So we're going to roll forward on those bones. Lift the chest, look up, maybe reach the arms out and back behind you. And then exhale, round your back, tuck your tail. So now you're rolling to the back of those bones. Drop your chin, wrap your arms around your body. I'll give you a side view. You do not need to move. It's just so you can see. We inhale, open the arms, lift the chest, little back bend. Sternum reaches to the ceiling, gaze raises, tailbone goes back behind you, and then exhale, round the back, tuck your tail, drop your chin, give yourself a hug. Keep going at your own pace. All right, let's make our way back to center, releasing those arms. Let's go into a side bend. So those sits bones are going to stay really grounded here. So those bones that you're sitting on, they're not rocking. You're going to keep them grounded. Let's reach that right hand towards the ground, side bending, really trying to avoid any other movement except for the side bend. So there's no rotation, there's no extension or flexion of the spine. We're going into this pure side bend, keeping the hips grounded. So watching that sit bone doesn't pull off of the chair as you side bend. And then maybe you reach your arm up to the ceiling. So we have one arm, right arm reaching down and mirroring, left hand reaching up, maybe even over, keeping those sits bones grounded. Take a few deep breaths. Does not need to be big, the movement. And come back up to center. Pause for a moment. Just notice any differences right to left. And we'll go to the other side. So reaching that left hand down, side bending. Again, making sure those hips stay grounded. Don't let that sit bone come off of the chair. And then reaching that right arm up. Again, watching that you're not rotating or twisting or extending or flexing the spine, that you're really trying to do a pure side bend. We tend to have one direction that's a little easier than the other, so maybe noting that if that's true for you. And coming back up. Let's go ahead and twist it out. So let's rotate the spine one way and then the other. Letting your breath be smooth here. It can be nice to inhale one direction and exhale the other direction, but just going back and forth a few times at whatever speed feels good. All right, and let's come to center. Let's bend those elbows, cactus arms just for a moment. We're moving to eagle arms or a variation of eagle arms. So I'm mirroring you again. So right elbow is going to go over the left elbow. You can nestle those elbows. That's option one. You can hug yourself. That's option two. Or you can keep those elbows nestled and bring those hands to touch. So you could have one with the hands separated, one with the hands touching, or giving yourself a hug. Pick which one you want, doesn't matter. Try and lift those elbows up about shoulder height if that's comfortable and safe on your body. And then we'll twist to the left. Rotate a little to the left and let's hold for 3 breaths. Come back to center, releasing those arms, shake it off. Whew, and let's go to the other side. So bend those elbows again 90 degrees. This time left arm goes over the right. You can have your elbows nestled, hands separated, elbows nestled and hands touching, elbows nestled and giving yourself a hug. It doesn't matter, they're just different. If you can, you're lifting those elbows about shoulder height. And then we're twisting to the right. Couple of deep breaths here. And then coming back to center, release those arms, shake them out. Whew. All right, let's move our attention to our lower body. Let's go ahead and move into our feet here. Let's just do a few heel raises, alternating lifting one heel and then the other. Just feeling some motion in the ankles, noticing how the calves are doing. All right, so we're going to try and stretch the top of the foot today. We're going to be very gentle. So if this doesn't feel good, please skip it. Be kind to your body. We're going to, I think I'm going to do this sideways. I think that will be the easiest way for us to see this. We're going to bring our right leg back and bring the tops of the toes to the ground. I'll take my socks off. It'll make it a little easier. So we're bringing that right foot back. So here the bottoms of the toes or the ball of the foot is down. We're going to try and get the top of the foot towards the ground so we can stretch the top of the ankle. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. But basically your foot is really pointed and you can play with how far back it goes depending on the type of chair you have. So for me, since I can move my leg back, I'm going to move my foot back behind me so I can really get a nice stretch. That might not be possible for you, so maybe it's just going back a little bit and you're stretching those toes and the ankle that way. Some of you will feel a lot of stretch here. Some of you will feel almost nothing at all. There's no right or wrong. We're just feeling, we're noticing. Noticing if the ankle's rolling out or in as you're doing this. And then we'll do it on the other side. So left foot goes back a little bit. You will have to bend your knee a bit. Tops of the toes or top of the foot comes to the ground. You can do this with your knee a little bit bent or quite bent. You can move that thigh back. It does help to sit forward in your chair. If you're sitting far back, actually, sitting far back works as well. I just tend to like to be forward, I think. You decide how far that foot goes. It's not a better stretch to have the foot back. It's just a little different. All right, and then let's bring that left foot back down. Now we're going to do some shin work. So some work for the muscles, the front of the leg, front of the lower leg. So we do a lot of calf raises, right? That's working the back of the leg. Now we're going to try and work the front of the leg a little bit. So let's start by scooching those feet a little forward. So instead of having your knees bent 90 degrees, scooch them just a little forward. So it's a slightly wider angle here. Going to lift the toes off the ground, keeping the heels down. Balls of the feet lift, toes lift, arches lift, and then lower the feet back down. So down and up, or up and down. So depending on your ankle flexibility and mobility, this might be a smaller movement or a bigger movement. All right, so if that feels okay, go ahead and scoot your feet back a little. So now you have a 90-degree bend in your legs. Now the movement's going to be smaller. It's going to feel maybe a little more strained or a little more difficult. Lift the balls of the feet, lift the toes. Or feeling the front of the lower leg working. Couple more. Okay, now we're going to play with our brain a little bit. So we've done the toe lifts, we've done the heel lifts. We're going to do the opposite for each foot. So I'll face forward. I think this will be easier, although this tends to be something that's easier if you're not looking at me after you've done a few. So we're going to lift one heel of one leg, lift the toes of the other leg, ball of the foot. So we have heel up of one foot, ball of the foot up of the other foot. And then we swap and swap. So just keep alternating here. So we're lifting toes of one leg, heel of the other. So your ankles should start to warm up. Maybe you're starting to feel your brain a little bit. Maybe this is really easy. I don't know. Keep going. Couple more. All right. And then let's let that go. Take a moment. Let those knees sway a little right to left, giving yourself a break. And then let's take those feet nice and wide. So we're going to widen our stance here. So taking the legs wide. It's up to you how wide. So it just depends on your inner thigh flexibility and your discomfort in your chair. So it can be more narrow, it can be wider. Make sure your feet are on the ground. So if you need to scooch back in your chair, oftentimes seats are a little bit of a dump seat. So the back of the chair is a little lower. So if you feel like your feet are just barely touching the ground, it can help to scooch back. All right, from there, we're going to let those shoulders creep up towards the ears and lean a little forward. Take a few breaths here. So we're leaning our torso forward. Our knees are staying open. The shoulders are creeping up. And then we'll let the right shoulder dip forward and twist a little bit. So right shoulder dips forward. We're twisting to the left. And then we switch. Other shoulder dips forward, twist to the right. And center. One more time each side. First shoulder dips forward. And the other. And back to center, sitting tall. All right, let's lean to the right now. So right hand can be on your thigh. Begin to lean to the right. Make sure those sits bones are grounded. Left arm can rest here for now. So just let that left arm rest as you lean to the right. You decide how far you go. So you can start to bend that right elbow. Keep those sits bones grounded. If you want even more stretch, you could bring your forearm to your thigh or your armrest if you have one. Otherwise, just stay on your hand. Again, sits bones stay where they are. Take a few breaths here, just noticing where the stretch is. So when we keep the arm down, you'll probably feel more stretch low. So it might be more in the hip or in the waist. And then if you'd like, reach that arm up towards the ceiling and then overhead. So as you reach it over, you probably will start to feel some stretch into the ribs as well. Few more deep breaths. And coming up. Let's switch sides. So left hand on your thigh, lean to the left, begin to bend the elbow. Take your time here. Keep that right arm relaxed. Sits bones stay grounded. So notice that tendency to want to hike that hip. That's that body trying to make this easy for you, but we really want to stretch those parts that don't really stretch on a daily basis or all the time. So keeping those sits bones grounded, begin to bend that elbow as much or as little as you'd like. Feel free to bring the forearm down if that feels better on your body. And then pause and notice where you feel the stretch. So maybe you really feel it in the waist or towards the pelvis. And then reaching that right arm either to the ceiling or all the way overhead, noticing how that maybe changes the stretch or maybe it just intensifies it. And go ahead and come back up. Bring those legs back towards each other. And let's take some circles with the torso, one direction. And circles go the other way. All right, let's do a little chair child's pose, little rest position here. So you'll begin to lean forward, bracing yourself on your hands and on your thighs. So hands on the thighs, elbows will bend. Let me give you a side view, a little more helpful. You can stay there. You could bring your forearms to your legs, or you can bring your hands to your feet. Wherever you go, make sure it's safe and it's somewhere you can come out of. So either hands on the thighs, forearms on the thighs, or hands to the feet. Feel free to let your head go as long as that feels comfortable. Two more breaths. And come on up. All right, so we're going to do a standing stretch. If you don't want to stand, you can stay seated. I'm actually going to quickly show you this stretch that you could do seated instead. So we're going to do a hamstring stretch in standing. If you don't want to do it standing, just straighten one leg forward in front of you, other knee is bent, and lean forward. We've done this stretch many times. If you've come to class before, you're welcome to do that instead. Otherwise, if you're up for standing, go ahead and come on up. Come stand behind your chair if you can. If you can't get behind your chair, just make sure you're near something if you need to hold on for safety, just so that you're balanced. Maybe you have a table or a wall just next to you just in case. All right, let's do left foot back. We're gonna keep that right foot in front. We're gonna step that left foot back, 1 to 3 feet back. Make sure that back heel is on the ground. So make sure that back heel is on the ground. All 10 toes are facing forward. You can have a peek. You're on little railroad tracks, so you're not on a tightrope. They're not on the same lines. I'll show you from the front, right? My feet have some separation between them right to left. I'm not standing one in front of the other. So there's some separation. Keeping those legs pretty straight. We're going to hinge at the hips. We're going to let that pelvis dictate the motion. So the torso is going to come along for the ride. We're going to let the pelvis roll over those thigh bones. You can start to bend those elbows if that chair is in front of you. You decide how low you go. Try and keep the spine pretty long for now. You could bring your forearms to the chair if that feels good, or stay in your hands. You're also welcome to take your hands to your thigh if that feels better. So find what works for you, and let's hold for several breaths. So this is where you could do that seated hamstring stretch instead. Then lift your torso up, keep your legs for another moment, bend the front knee just for a second, push the back heel into the ground, feel that calf stretch maybe in that back leg, and then step forward. Back foot meets the front and we switch sides. So other leg goes back, right leg goes back, left foot is forward. All 10 toes face forward. We have 2 straight legs. We're on railroad tracks. We are hinging from the hips, so it's that pelvis moving over those thigh bones. Torso comes forward. Try and keep the spine pretty long. Hands can stay on the chair, maybe forearms come to the chair. You can also take your hands to your thigh. Find what works for you, and we'll hold several breaths. Lift the torso up. Keep the legs for a moment. Let's bend the front knee. Back leg is straight. Push that back heel into the ground. And then step forward, back foot meets the front. And let's go ahead and have a seat. Coming back to your chair. Let's come back to that pelvis. So just a little rocking side to side. Maybe doing some circles here. So the torso can move, but thinking about the pelvis and how the weight will shift around the pelvis. And then go the other way, if you haven't already. And then coming to center, feeling that even weight on those sits bones, right to left. And let's give ourselves a little massage. So if you want, you can take your glasses off if you're wearing glasses. Just makes it a little easier. You don't have to. Let's bring those hands towards the temples and just do some gentle circles here. And start to massage the forehead and the hairline, or maybe even the scalp. So you could use the tips of the fingers, doing circular motions. You could use the palms. You could do some dragging motion. You could do some tapping. So just whatever feels good. Can also feel nice to gently pull the hair. So we're just starting to transition into our final meditation in a minute, but just giving yourself a minute to massage your head, maybe the eyebrows. Feel free to let the massage move down into the jaw and the rest of the face. Or maybe it's your neck and shoulders that are calling to you, and that's what you want to massage. So take just the next minute to massage whatever feels good. All right. Another breath or two here. And then letting that go, letting the hands come to your lap, letting the gaze soften to the ground or eyes close. Letting the face be soft, shoulders relaxed, not pulled down, just relaxed. Breath is smooth. Coming back to that intention, if you set one, just acknowledging it, no judgment. Then bring your palms to touch in front of the heart. And take a moment to thank yourself for taking time to take care of your mind and your body. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's a pleasure, as always. So we're going to repeat the move of the week. I would love for you to pay attention to how you're sitting just throughout the day, whether that's in a chair or on the couch, noticing how those sits bones are making contact with your chair. So many of us have a way we like to be because it's the path of least resistance. So it's good to notice, oh, am I always leaning to one side? So I'll give my example. For me, I like to sit like this. So one hip is always down, one hip is always up. So noticing, okay, whenever you do sit, whether it's on the couch, in your comfy chair, or at the dining table, how do you sit in your chair? And can you find moments of maybe doing the opposite of what you like to do, or Finding even weight. So, or at any point you want, just do a little rocking. So we're going to say the move of the week is still this sort of rocking side to side on the pelvis, but really it's about finding that awareness of how we sit throughout the day. When we're really uneven, it can cause a lot of discomfort in our bodies. So the first step is just being aware of us always having a certain pattern. So we're just repeating the same move of the week. Um, I'm going to write that down. I suggest you do that as well. And now we have time if anybody has any questions. So questions about um, class or the functional fitness class. Let me just look at what's in the chat here. Oh, hopefully you were able to hear me. Sometimes I'm assuming that got worked out. I don't have your name, but it just says iPhone. Hopefully that got worked out. Sometimes we forget to turn on our own audio side. Hopefully that's what it was. Thanks, Chloe. I see you in the chat. All right, the floor is yours. If anyone has anything.
Well, thank you for running the class.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. This class is not possible without all of you coming. It continues as long as we have a nice big group, so it's great, and I love teaching it. We've got some questions here. Oh, we have some thank yous here. Barbara's saying, how often do you meet? So we have class on Wednesdays and Fridays. Maybe V, do we have a calendar for this month? So classes on Wednesdays and Fridays, but we alternate what the class is. We have our yoga class and our functional fitness class. No, so it's not the same time, which is why I'm going to see if we have the calendar. If not, I will tell you all the times. Oh, here we go. Perfect. I'm going to share this. This is the easiest way. Oh, this is so cute. It's like Halloween themed. Okay, so hopefully you all see this. So let's see. We are, oh my gosh, we're already the 22nd. So it's chair yoga. So let's look at Friday. Friday, functional fitness. 10 a.m. in California, so Eastern, or sorry, Eastern. 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. And that's functional fitness. Then on Wednesday next week is functional fitness again, because we alternate each time. Functional fitness on Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. So it's 1 hour later on Fridays. I'm going to leave this up if anyone needs to write something down. But if other people have questions in the meantime, oh, here we go. I'm seeing a question about or I'm seeing, okay, Annette saying thank you for the stretching and the hip work. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed that. And then Linda's asking, what's the functional fitness class consist of? So the functional fitness class is primarily a standing class with weights. You don't have to have weights, so we do everything. You can do it without weights. Just for the upper body, you might find like, oh, this is not that hard, but for the lower body, you'll still get plenty of work. Class is standing, it's more about strengthening versus stretching. We still do some body awareness. We do some balance. There's usually a lot more balance in that class. I think that covers it. So it's more of a standing class, more strength-based to really get those movements that you need to sort of function in everyday life in the safest way possible. If anyone wants to chime in who comes to that class, you're welcome to.
It's a good workout.
Awesome, thanks. Veronica saying, oh, thank you. Only attended 3 classes, but you plan to continue. Awesome. Patricia saying, see you Friday. I'm seeing the thank yous. Okay, great. And Linda, that was a good enough explanation. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen just so I can see you all. When I'm sharing the screen, then I can't see everybody, and I like to. Who sponsors this class? Well, GoGo pays for this class. So this is a perk, right? So this is a special perk that you get for being a GoGo member. Of course, if you're ready to go, you are absolutely welcome to pop off. I'm seeing all the thank yous. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to hang out for another minute if anyone else has any questions. But if you need to leave, you are welcome to.
What is the word for the day?
The move of the day?
Yes.
So the move of the week is a repeat from last week, and that is shifting on your hips in your chair. So I really want you to pay attention to how you sit in your chair, whether it's a firm chair or a couch, and trying to find maybe a little bit more symmetry or evenness sitting right to left.
And what is the word of the day?
Oh, there's no word. I said, this is what I wrote. Hips shifting side to side in chair.
Okay.
I'll write that in the chat too. Shift side to. Okay, Ruth is asking where to see the replay of this class. So, it takes a little while for the replays to come up, maybe several weeks. So it will eventually pop up on our YouTube channel. What I suggest is if this was a class that you really liked or you thought, oh, this is something that I feel bummed that I missed it, write down the date. So today is October 22nd because on YouTube it will tell you the date of the class. Barbara's asking, am I Aedra? Yes, I am Aedra, I think is what you're asking. Yes, that's me. And then V just shared a link of the YouTube channel in the chat. So you can go and see any of our past classes. And then eventually this class will pop up, maybe takes a month or so. This class will pop up. It used to be sooner, but I think there's so many old classes to go through that the priority sort of shifted. There are like hundreds of classes on YouTube. So isn't that crazy? We've done hundreds of go-go classes and some of you have been here since the beginning. So really cool.
What do we do? Do we go to go yoga classes on YouTube?
Sorry, I missed the question.
How do we get to you on YouTube? What do we?
Yeah, so are you able to see the chat?
No.
Okay. So the chat is usually at the bottom middle of your screen. Are you on a computer?
Yes.
So if you move your cursor to the bottom of the Zoom,
Yep.
a little,
Yep.
yeah. So in the chat, you're gonna have to scroll down probably through lots of people's chats, right towards the bottom, third from the bottom, V has written down a response with a link. So basically, actually the only link I think that's been shared here towards the bottom, that's the link to a YouTube channel.
Okay, I just opened up chat and don't see it still. There it is. Okay.
And then you do get an email with it there as well.
Okay, well, so that'll come in this particular thing will come in the chat also, an email also.
Yes, every time if you're subscribed, you should receive it in an email as well. Okay, let's see a couple other questions. Oh, wow, I had a typo. I was like, what is hip shins? Hip shift. Let me edit that. I was like, what is this person saying? That person is me. Hip shift side to side and chair. Okay, that question's been answered. Does GoGo remind you of class? Yes. You should be getting email reminders for class. There have been like some changes right now, but you should be getting email reminders.
Can you take spoken questions too?
Yeah.
I just saw this in my box, so I just tuned in. So I'm sorry I missed the class. But will this be every week, and will we get reminders of this?
Yes. So there have been some changes with our email system, which is why maybe you got it late. But I'm going to share again, just real quick, my the calendar. But yes. So the class happens on Wednesdays and Fridays, depending on your time zone, will depend what time it is. It is 1 hour earlier on Wednesdays. So Wednesdays 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 p.m. Eastern. Fridays is an hour later.
Okay, and we can access this via the email that you will send, right?
Yes, the email GoGo sends, yes.
Oh, okay. So that's lovely. Thank you for doing this. I'm sorry I missed it. It looks wonderful.
That's okay. I hope to see you next time.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, Barbara V answered your question in the chat. Emails come from gazette@gogograndparent.com. Mary's saying, thank you, first time. Awesome. Alrighty, well, I better go and let you all go. Hopefully, I either see you on Friday or on Wednesday. And have a wonderful rest of the day, rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.